Have you ever thought about robbing a bank or becoming a full-time criminal? Then Payday 2 is the game for you. Payday 2 is a first-person shooter in which you play as one of the four characters and perform highly illegal activities such as robbing banks and jewelry stores, transporting drugs and weapons, or even just shooting up a mall. The game was released on 13th of August for PC, Xbox and PlayStation by a company called 505 Games. It is a product of Overkill Software and is the sequel to the very successful Payday the Heist. There isn't much of a storyline in Payday as each heist isn't connected, but there are heists that include a storyline and they are played over 3 or 4 missions. The game is incredibly team-based and I suggest you either play with friends or make new ones because it is really hard to do the mission solo and the AIs you were given are really not intelligent and just stupid. There is also 4 difficult levels for each heist: normal, hard, very hard and overkill. Each having more aspects to it that make it more difficult to complete. When you play with your team, there are 2 ways you can approach the heist: stealthy or guns blazing. Stealthy is really hard to pull off because if one mistake can set off an alarm, can set off a camera, can alert a guard, a civilian or even a police officer. This makes the in-game chat tool that they give you really useful when attempting stealth because you can just communicate with your teammate and coordinate your movements and it just makes things easier. There isn't a whole lot to the sounds in this game, like there's just your standard gunfire and yelling, but one cool thing that is done with the sound is that it's sort of like when the police launch an assault when you get caught out, they give you more of an upbeat tempo music that sort of just makes you feel more into the game and gets you G'd up and stuff, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Each heist sort of has their own little missions you have to do, like if you want to rob a bank, you'll have to get your drill and drill into the vault whilst defending off the police, and then you have to get the bags, whatever's in the bags, so there might be gold or cash, and you have to carry them all the way out, which can be hard because the bags you pick up are heavy and they slow you down a lot. If you do like a drug run, there's one where you gotta get bags of cocaine, and you can stop at 4, or you can get this like 8 bags of cocaine and it gives you extra gold at the end of it. There's also a mission where you gotta mix your own meth. You actually have to make your own meth, which is just absurd, but that's what you have to do in the mission. There's also one where you have to steal paintings, put cameras in paintings, give them to the senator, and the senator that you give it to is a dirty bloke, and you got to use the cameras to raid his house and steal all incriminating evidence against him. So the game's interesting like that, like with each mission having its own aspects to it. And also every time you do the mission, like it changes, so either there'll be more or less security guards, the cameras will be in different places, even the environment itself might change, like they'll put a fence up here or there, take a fence down. So yeah, it's different each time, which makes it really cool and not boring. Each heist has a set location, and the locations you play in are based on New York City. So the streets and buildings are designed similar to New York, like cars, fire hydrants, lampposts, etc, etc. At the end of each successful heist, the player is given money and XP based on how hard the heist was and how successful they completed it. The money can be used for a number of things. For one, you are given an offshore account, which sort of acts as your global score. Money can also be spent on weapons and attachments. Weapons can be unlocked with money, but attachments need further unlocking. Money can also be spent on skills. When a player levels up, they are given a skill point. There are 4 skill trees: Mastermind, who is like a medic and can also manipulate AIs in the game, Enforcer, who can carry ammo and is all about combat, a Technician who uses equipment such as sentry guns and C4, and there is a Ghost class, who specialises in stealth. At the end of each mission, players get to choose one of 3 cards, and it's sort of like a lucky dip. And behind each card you can unlock the weapon attachment, so you can't just buy a weapon attachment, you have to unlock it first then buy it. You can also unlock money, or you can also unlock a mask. Masks are just like your avatar pretty much, and you can modify them in 3 ways. You can change the colour of them, you can change the material on them, and the style of the pattern you want on them. So that's also pretty cool. So yeah, overall Payday 2 is a really good game. I recommend you go buy it. It's only $30, it's not a really expensive game. So yeah, go start robbing your own banks. Thank you.